Yahoo! Are we live? Are we live yet? Hey Gordon, good morning. We are officially live and hitting the road. Jordan is in front of me and he just, I was gonna say drop me off, but it was kind of a combination between him dropping me off and then him riding in the truck with me, helping me hook up, and then me dropping him off back in the car. So we kind of dropped each other off. But anyway, yes, we are hitting the road tonight. It is my first night back. It has been such a busy week, and I have lots and lots of updates for you guys. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Trust me, lots of each. Never a dull moment in this part of the country. I still have my flashes on. So how's everybody doing tonight? As you can tell, I am like dragging butt. I had the worst time trying to sleep. We did investigate the Sally house this week, and we will be going through evidence over the coming weeks. As I learned from last time, it takes quite a while. So anyway, so we had a really busy like 48-hour period. We're up for like 30 some odd hours straight, and then came home and like crashed for another 14 hours. We were so tired. So my body is still adjusting from all of that craziness, and today I could not sleep for like anything. I slept for maybe, I don't know, maybe 3.5 hours like total, because it was really off and on, and I finally gave up. Like, I went to bed like at 1:30. I think I woke up like at 2:30, 3:30. Then I woke up at 4:30. And then at 4:30, I finally gave up. I tried to go back to sleep, couldn't. So I decided to stay up. And so anyway, yeah, I maybe got 3 hours of sleep, if even that. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So I'm trying to get myself motivated. Jordan's like, as soon as you do the live stream, you'll be all full of energy again. I'm like, I sure hope so. I need it tonight. Give me the ugly first so it doesn't scare me by sneaking up at the end of all the news. I do agree with that. So, okay. So the ugly truth is I heard back from the attorney, finally. And okay, the good and bad part is when I contacted them and filed a complaint, I finally got a good attorney. It's one of the top with the company, or with the law firm, and he did a darn good job looking into the law for me. So I explained all the loopholes that I found in Kansas state statute and why I believe we were well within our rights to do what we're doing. Also, furthermore, there are companies and organizations doing this all over the country. So, of course, his return to that is, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, unfortunately, because the state of Kansas has their own civil laws. And that is what we kept running into with the disaster relief and the storm chase rescue thing is, as soon as we cross state lines, as soon as we cross county lines for that matter, it seemed like as soon as we went within 30 miles, all the laws changed. Like, it's like that everywhere. Like, you go 30 miles here, 30 miles there, everywhere you go, the law is different. And it was driving us freaking nuts. Because it's like, it's bad enough with state laws being different, But when you have county ordinances and city ordinances, for that matter, pretty much everywhere you go has a totally different set of laws. And so you could be compliant one place and non-compliant another. So the big, long story short is, after checking into it, the attorney did say that I had an argument that as an emergency vehicle, because we have to have an emergency vehicle pretty much to do any type of like rescue stuff, but the fire marshal has told us that private organizations and companies cannot be involved with rescue service. And I'm thinking that's ridiculous. The EMS board has said the same thing. So that's 2 state agencies that told us we cannot do any type of assistance during a disaster, even if we're trying to help people. So the attorney fired back and said, well, technically you can because of the Good Samaritan laws. He said, if you roll up on something, if you just happen to be out there, you know, roll up on something, you can do that. The problem is having the emergency equipment, the scanner to hear what's going on, and the siren, the lights to warn traffic, blah, 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 everything you would need as a rescue vehicle, and even some of the medical stuff. So here's the problem. He said, even though we have a point that technically there's kind of a gray area in Kansas state statute that technically we would be considered fire department vehicle, we're just privately owned. He said he studied the law enough in Kansas that he said, I'm just going to level with you. If somebody complains and you're written a ticket or accused of impersonating a public official, which probably will happen, he said once it goes to court, you're more than likely going to lose before a judge with that argument, because he said the judge is going to fire back and say that if they intended to say private companies or private organizations is included in that, they would have included it, because other states like Arkansas, where we wanted to live right now, we were originally planning on living in Arkansas by now, and things just didn't work out. Arkansas specifically says privately owned rescue vehicles are exempt from special authorizations. So if we live in Arkansas right now, we have full rights to run lights, siren, scanner, everything, as long as we're properly certified to do rescue, which we are. So, but with Kansas, they don't specify. So my attorney's advice was, even though I do have a good point in the law and I could make an argument, he said, you're in most cases going to lose almost every time, because the state's not welcoming of private entities involved in any type of like disaster rescue. So he just gave me a heads up. He's like, you know, unless you guys want to constantly fight legal battles, in the meantime not even making any money trying to help other people, his best advice was basically just stay out of it. You know, tornadoes, everything, just let people die, because, you know, obviously he said if you roll up on something, you're allowed to do, you know, assist. But he said, you know, if you're not an authorized emergency vehicle and you don't want to fight a bunch of laws, or constantly have court cases, his suggestion was strip the thing of any emergency items, which basically takes us down to the beginning, because you can get in trouble, like I said, for a police siren, for communication equipment, for a police scanner, for anything that you would need to be even assisting FEMA in disaster relief. And he said when it comes to IRIS, when it comes to FEMA's mutual aid, no matter what we're qualified to do and certified to do on a federal level, state law trumps federal law because of states' rights. So since we live in the state of Kansas, who doesn't like private entities assisting in any type of like disaster rescue, or even search and rescue for that matter, our hands are tied. Like, unless we want to move, we're stuck. And like I said, DA here in Johnson County basically gave us his blessing. He liked what we were doing. He thought it was great. He had no problem. He didn't care if we had lights and siren. The local police don't care so far. The officers we've dealt with don't care if we have lights or siren. You know, so we've had no issue. Even in Missouri, nobody cared that we had emergency lights because they're like, well, hell, you guys know what you're doing. Keep doing it. You know what I mean? So we've got local support, but when push comes to shove, if one person complains, then the state attorney general can put the smackdown on us and come after us for impersonating a public official. We can be thrown in prison, or be fighting legal battles constantly. So right now we are kind of scratching our heads on what to do. I don't know the answer to that, because on the one hand, here's what the law does allow us to do. We can run as a non-emergency vehicle. So any citizen can go out and storm chase any organization, whatever. We can still go out and storm chase, and if we roll up on an accident, the Good Samaritan law kicks in, we can get it out and help, right? But the problem is, well, we would have to run clear and amber lights in the front, and we can still run red in the rear, red and white in the rear, as long as we're not moving and we're warning of a roadside hazard. That's in the state statute. So we're still covered for all of that stuff. But if we're caught with a police scanner or listening to a scanner like we do constantly to know what's going on, we can get fined. So it's just kind of a bunch of nonsense. So we're not quite sure, you know, even with FEMA, we can still contract with them, but we just can't have like a full emergency vehicle at the ready, which really handicaps us being called out for FEMA because they want a vehicle equipped and ready for rescue, obviously, and if we can't provide that, we're going to be at the bottom of the list. So, politics. That is like the bad news. So, we're kind of like scratching our head on, do we strip the car of the decals? Do we because that's where we're getting the complaints. There's also a law in the state of Kansas that if you have an emergency vehicle, you are not allowed to use it for personal use. So every time we go to the store and get groceries or do something like that, you know, we take a chance with somebody complaining and saying that a public vehicle is being used for private use, and then that's a whole nother investigation we got to deal with. So it's like every time we go out, we're like cringing that we're getting complained about. So I don't know what to do. You know, I don't want to strip the car down. I don't want to ruin all the work we put into all this. You know, we just want to go out and help people, and we're having all these troubles. So let's see. Gordon says, what if you still did it, but just didn't advertise or say you're certified for this or that? Honestly, that's a really good point. Honestly, I mean, I'm considering it. I mean, and like, here's the thing. Here's what the attorney said. The attorney said it's a gray area. Because my argument, and I showed him, and he's the top guy with his law firm. I'm like, this state statute says fire department vehicles are exempt from special certification. They are already accepted as an emergency vehicle without any special authorization in Kansas. Fire department vehicles. And my argument was, even though we're a private organization, it is registered to our organization, and it is a rescue vehicle. Rescue vehicles are under fire department, not EMS. And we approve that over and over and over because of the ambulance ordinances. Anything under EMS does not include fire vehicles or rescue. It's only ambulance for transport. So the only other category to put that in, it's not police, is fire department. So my argument was that we are a privately owned fire department rescue vehicle, and thus we are exempt from special authorization. legislation in the state of Kansas. And that was my argument. And other states have already made it more abundantly clear, but, you know, we're registered with FEMA, we're getting integrated with IRIS, like we're all set and ready to go here. So I don't know. And he even told me, you know, you got a point. Like, you do have a point. It does not specify. And it does say fire department vehicles, and then it puts comma, or police vehicles which are publicly owned. But it does not say fire department vehicles which are publicly owned. It only says police vehicles that are publicly owned. That was my other point, that they left that open to private entities to have rescue vehicles and operate in the state of Kansas. So on the one hand, we kind of have enough of a gray area that we could just say, you know what, screw it, we're doing our own thing, we're registered with FEMA, we got no problems with local police, let's just not advertise this and just do our thing. You know, emergency light, siren, whole setup, and until, you know, we get really accused of something, then we'll say, we're sorry, we didn't know, we thought the state statute allowed for this, you know, we can play stupid on it and back off. So that is another option, you know, because I'm telling you right now, like looking at IRIS, it's not going to be very hard with our past training and experience to get qualified as a traffic control specialist. And as soon as we're designated that, we will get a federal ID that says, you know, like tactical rescue, it'll say traffic control specialist, and it'll have our company name and our individual names. We will have a federal ID. So if we're stopped and questioned by Highway Patrol, we can simply hand them our federal ID with FEMA's logo at that point and say, hey, look, you know, we are qualified for this. We're certified. You can run our plate. It's registered to the organization, public safety, you know. So that is an option. Honestly, it's a viable option. So it's either that or we're going to have to completely, like, back off. I don't really like that, but I also don't want the liability. So maybe Gordon has a point there. Like, I don't know. I have to put some more thought into it. Everybody else that sees this, comment below. Well, let me know at a later time, or whenever you see this, what you think we should do. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame because the district attorney, he's a fan of ours on YouTube. Like, he had no problem with this. Olathe, the PD, had no problem with this. The city and county attorneys had no problem with this. In Overland Park, Lenexa, like, nobody has a problem with this. It's only the private citizens who have complained and said, we don't want you guys out here because we don't know who you are. So, yeah, I don't know. IDK. I almost wonder, though, when it comes to all that, I almost wonder if we shouldn't, like, get a second vehicle and use that for personal use. Like, basically put a freaking siren on that vehicle, run the red and blue lights, have everything ready, register with FEMA, but that vehicle will only go out if we're going out during, like, severe weather or if we're responding to a disaster. That way, there's no room for the public to complain seeing the vehicle driving around. That's probably another reason we're getting complaints, because the vehicle's driving around town. They're like, who the hell are you? Why are you in plain clothes and driving an emergency vehicle? So, you know, if we did do that, our best bet's probably to go ahead and say, screw it, decal the hell out of it, you know, do this thing, but leave it parked at the house unless we are doing something rescue-oriented. And that way you can let it lie type of thing. Because even Jordan said, you know, during a disaster, we roll up on an accident, nobody's telling us to leave. Like, people are thrilled to see us. They're like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so happy you guys showed up. you know, this just happened and you guys were right here, you know, so people are happy to have us there when crap hits the fan, you know. And I really can't see anybody turning us away if we roll up on tornado damage and you got people trapped. I mean, really? You gonna tell us, get out of here, guys? You know, we don't want your help? No. They're gonna be calling for backup and wanting everybody they can possibly get to help. They're not gonna care anything about where's all your papers for your red and blue lights, you know, that are flashing sitting on the street. You know, they're just gonna be like, oh, thank God you guys are here, you know. So I don't know. There's so many ways to look at this. It's just really hard to know. You know, and also there's a thing in the law where if you're not maliciously doing something, if you're doing something in ignorance, it may still be illegal. Like, for instance, if we were accused of impersonating a public official or whatever, and we were to make the case with the Kansas state statute that, hey, look at what it says. We, you know, other states say this, we're certified with FEMA already, you know, we thought we were well within our right to be authorized as an emergency vehicle. We just didn't know. Well, if we've done our due diligence and we're attempting to follow the law, it's not like they can come down as hard on us if push came to shove. Because even if they did say, you guys are in the wrong, you know, more than likely they're going to take a look at us and go, okay, you guys are trying to do a good thing. I see that. Guys, take the stuff off your vehicle. You know, it'd kind of be one of those deals. Kind of like the EMS board. They just told us to stop doing what we were doing and back off. You know, they threatened us, but they said, you can't do this, and you can't do this, and you better back off. And so we did. We complied with their letter, and they backed off. So it may be the same thing with the lights. Like, you know, if we did that and continue, and somebody was to eventually say something, or a state trooper was to come against us, then I think we could get out of it, you know. Especially if we have our federal ID badges, you know, and can show we're on the mutual aid list. But I don't know. I'll give it some thought to it. I really will. But anyway, as for good news, guys, we did get to the Sallie House. We will be releasing the Crescent Hotel paranormal video October 5th. We are right on track, as you guys saw. I saw Gordon commented on YouTube. He's so excited. Ready for October 5th. So I appreciate that. So we're all set and ready to go for that. We had a wonderful investigation at the Sallie House. Couldn't have gone better. We had the whole property to ourselves. Had a lot of strange things happen that night. Nobody got scratched. I will tell you that. But we did get a lot of evidence. K2. We got a lot of ghost box words and evidence. We had lights turn on and off by themselves. I remember when we first got there, Jordan went upstairs to investigate, and he called down. He's like, get up here. The lights just turned on by themselves. And the switch in the hallway was turned off. Completely turned off. The lights turned on by themselves. And I'm pretty sure we have that on video. So we'll have to look back. But that was crazy. That was one of the reports happening over the years. Sallie House was the upstairs lights would physically turn on even when the switch was off. So anyway, so it did happen to us. I had an encounter with a dark entity at one point in the night, and I got aggressive with it. Because of my church background and training, I have been trained in home exorcism and actual exorcisms on people. So I went into exorcist mode. You should have seen it. It was like Exorcist chick. I have a video of the whole thing, but on the ghost box, this thing started, you know, saying like demonic spirits and stuff like that. And at first it wasn't talking to me. At first it was playing games. And I got violent with it. I actually used a technique in spiritual warfare that you could argue, like, I don't care what people's beliefs are. All I know is this does work. And I went into spiritual warfare mode, and I put this thing into torment using certain spiritual commands. And I put it into torment until it decided to tell me its name. And I went after it. The guys are like, oh my God, she ain't messing around. I'm like, no, I'm not. I want a name. You're going to give it to me. So anyway, it went really good, guys. I can't wait to show you guys that. We're excited ourselves to go over the evidence because even we haven't had time the last couple days to review any of the evidence. Like, we just skimmed over some of it, but you know, it's kind of sad. Like, the investigators themselves haven't even got a chance to go over the paranormal stuff caught. But such is life. That's how it goes. You get busy, get an investigation, you're still doing the last one, wrapping up all the evidence, blah, blah, blah. But, let's see. I'm trying to think what else to tell you guys. Oh my God. There's so many things to tell you guys. As you can see here on the front window, though, we have a lot of rain. It is raining. It is about 50 degrees here in the Midwest. So it is a chilly, rainy night out here. And it is October just about. So not too long from now, we will be getting snow, which I'm sure Gordon's very excited about. I know I am. But anyway, guys, yeah, I was able to email the Crescent Hotel today. So I emailed the hotel staff in charge of going over paranormal evidence and turned over all the ghost pictures to them. I'll see if I can share some with you guys here pretty soon. But we got a whole bank of photos and tagged everything to our YouTube channel. So I think the Crescent Hotel is going to use that and actually print that for their book in the lobby. And we've turned over all of our video clips as well to the Crescent Hotel. So our instruction to them was use any video clips you want, just so long as you tag our YouTube channels. That's all we ask. Free of charge, use it away, use it in promos, whatever. So, so anyway, yeah, we got some free advertisement there, and the Crescent Hotel is going to have a lot of free evidence to add to their library and Facebook pages and stuff like that. So all that was taken care of today. Also, we emailed the lady with the production company that we put our application in for cast members. So we sent over some photos to her and paranormal video clips for our file. So we'll see what happens with that. We haven't heard back yet. You know, don't know if we'll get it or not. We're just applying for it, so we'll see. But anyway, I am with Gordon. Snow. Snow is much more pretty and gentle than this. Unless it's a blizzard. If it's a blizzard, you're just screwed. That's all there is to it. You're screwed. Anyway, guys, I am going to get off of here. It's been about 30 minutes. So I hope that wasn't too bad of news. You know, like I said, I think things for the most part are going really well. Definitely going to consider taking up Gordon's idea, because I think it would work, honestly. Seeing how much support we have from law enforcement and seeing how thankful they are when we show up, because we're not intrusive. You know, if we show up and, you know, there's nobody on the scene yet, we just offer our assistance, and as soon as cops get there, rescue, you know, we offer to leave. And if they say, oh, no, we can use the help, can you guys stick around, Absolutely, we'd be happy to. And we do it free of charge. There's no money exchange. Like, we just do that to give back to the community. And the officers seem to like it. Fire department seems to like it. Like, nobody has a problem with this. So I think there would be a valid point with doing that. Also, my father, who is many years in law enforcement, had a good suggestion, I think, and that's once we're integrated with IRIS and have our federal IDs, putting something on the back window of the vehicle that says FEMA certified contractor, or something of the sort. That way, you know, we can even use the FEMA logo because we're referencing FEMA. We're not saying we are FEMA. We're just saying FEMA certified contractors. And if we do that, you know, then everybody knows, okay, they're already certified, you know, through FEMA. They're already on the response list. That way we're maybe get less hassle from the public and people right off the bat wondering who we are type of thing. You know, if they already see the FEMA logo, they already see certified contractors, they know who we are. And in most cases, you know, like I said, whenever law enforcement does question us, that's usually the first question is like, who are you guys? And as soon as they hear we're FEMA contractors, they immediately go, oh, okay, you guys are cool, you know. Because a lot of them don't know how FEMA works. A lot of them don't know all the details. All they know is FEMA's a big deal. There's a lot of training involved. So you guys must be cool. Your plate comes back to your company. You guys are good. It's clear you know what you're doing. You guys are good. So I think that may really help us out too. Instead of having like fire department logos necessarily on the car, have FEMA certified contractors on there on the back. And then, you know, leave the rest of the markings on there, you know, public safety, blah, blah, blah. That way, we're being transparent, honest, you know, trying to do things legally. But, oh, looks like our rain may have stopped. The more the better. We need a lot of snow this year. We do. I know Travis likes it too. Anyway, I am gonna get off of here. It's so nice to see you, Gordon. Now that things are slowing down, I promise you will be wanting to watch your mailbox soon. I won't say so yet. I haven't even ordered my vitamins off of Amazon. I am out of my energy vitamins. So we've been so consumed with these paranormal investigations this month because we were in such a time crunch to get all our equipment upgraded and get these done. I mean, you can imagine we went from just cameras in our hands and digital ghost boxes to actual ghost box, actual K2, digital DVR system, and then an actual system with night vision, 2 digital voice recorder. Like, we have so many upgrades that we've done in such a short amount of time, not knowing that we were actually going to get 2 very famous locations, the most haunted hotel in America, and then literally the most haunted house. At least it's been called in the past. I don't know that it still is. But the Sallie House, very, very famous. We just could not believe that we got both. So that has consumed us like the last few weeks. But now that we are past that, I will be letting you know pretty soon. And anyway, so I'm excited about what's to come. And I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome evening. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Love you guys.